We're going to get into the exciting topic of SEO. Ooh, I'm going to tell you why it is exciting as we get going through this. There is a lot involved in SEO. And let's start really understanding dominating organic search for the carpet cleaning, home cleaning space. And what are the changes in 2024? There's a lot going on. So we want to know why it's, even valuable, but I want to prove it to you why you need to understand organic SEO and rankings. SEO just stands for search engine optimization. But what are the search engines? What are we optimizing? Why are we even doing it? Does it really matter for our carpet cleaning business? So let's get into all of that.
Welcome to the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast, a show created to inspire carpet cleaning business owners to build their own thriving residential and commercial cleaning business. Your host, John Clendenning, has built and sold successful cleaning businesses for multiple six figures over his 30-year career and is the founder of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters, a digital agency that turns your online marketing into a lead generation machine. Tune in as John shares proven tips, strategies, and expert interviews to help fast-track your success in the carpet cleaning industry.
So, as we always say, need your attention. Turn off your cell phones. Turn off your Facebook. If you're a home cleaning, home service provider, business owner, and you're serious about growing your business, if you're under $150,000 in revenue, there's some of you here that might be listening to this that are well under that. Again, that was me in 1995. If you're serious about getting results, if you're in that 150,000 or less, usually one guy in a truck, or if you're running a cleaning business, home cleaning service, that's maybe one crew on the road, shouldn't be much more than that. And you're more than 1 year in business, 2 years max. You need to understand the principles of what you're doing, like what business you're actually in. So again, I figured that out as a 20-something-year-old kid in 1995, town of 30,000 people. And by the end of the first year was doing over 10,000 a month, 120,000 a year in 30-year ago dollars. So again, I'm not special. I knew nothing. I was, again, just a high school kid, didn't go to college, didn't go to university, went off on the road and played in a band for a number of years before I decided, you know what? Probably should, that's not going to be the thing that's going to, propel my life. So let's figure something else out, and started working for myself and running my own businesses. So we're going to talk about the things that you need to be thinking about and why, and how it relates right now to our topic of the day, which is organic rankings. So what we're going to cover topical authority, right? You want to become the go-to local expert in carpet care, home cleaning, that kind of thing online. You want to become the topical authority in your marketplace, not just because you're going to get more customers, which is the end result. You're going to get more people loving you and wanting to work with you and have you as their service provider at prices higher than the competition, usually, if you're the topical authority. But Google's algorithm we're going to talk about is going to reward you like crazy as well. You want to understand user behavior, why most people, 95 to 98% of the people that come to your website, I know this from auditing thousands and thousands of carpet cleaner and home cleaning and home service business websites, leave. Like they bounce within seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, less than a minute. So we don't want that to happen, right? We want to talk about organic ranking in our AI era. And I always kind of put AI with a small I beside it because it's easier to see than a capital I in a lot of fonts. But latest buzz on Google's algorithm updates. What's happening now? Like what happened? Like the genie came out of the bottle 2 years ago now. It doesn't feel like that, but AI was around before that. But ChatGPT and sort of the use of AI in the consumer world showed up December of 2022. We've had all of 2023 and now almost all of 2024. And it is insane how many changes it's making in everyday lives. If people are allowing it, but how much change is happening in the background, and what does it mean for your business and how people are going to find you, how people are going to use you. We're going to talk about that. And even what's going to happen to Google. Google's the search king right now. Well, Blockbuster was the place you got movies before. Netflix actually tried to sell to Blockbuster and they go, no, nobody's going to be streaming movies. Not interested at all. And all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, Blockbuster within a few years closed up all of their stores, from the biggest monolith in the industry to nothing because Netflix took over. right? And Netflix, if you guys remember, I'm old enough to remember, Netflix was this subscription thing where they sent you it. You got 5, almost like Columbia House a little bit. And if you remember that, that's dating me as well. But I had albums and then cassette tapes from Columbia House. I didn't even get CDs from Columbia House. I'm so old. But Netflix was where they would send you the movies, 5 of them. And if you sent one back, they'd send you the next one on your list. You sent one back. And then they eventually became a streaming subscription model as that changed and stuff like that. And now look at what happened there, right? So search traffic to customers. What is that? So we don't just want numbers. We don't want more views on our website if they're unqualified views, if they're from Bangladesh, lovely country. Sure, absolutely amazing. Doesn't matter anything at all if you are, a local service provider in Virginia Beach. Doug, if you're on the call. If you're a local service provider in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. If you're a local service provider in, Orange, California, or, Sacramento and places like that. You want search traffic to turn into customers, right? So your rankings have to be meaningful. And we're going to talk about what that means as well. So let me move that little thing off the screen. Okay. So if you stay to the end, we've got some stuff to give you as well. So we'll kind of get to that. But who am I? For any of you that are new here, because we're finding that, again, through the podcast, through the master classes, through all of the work we do with CleanFacts Magazine and ISSA, through the book on Amazon, over my shoulder, actually can't see it, it's down there, but it's on the screen. And our social postings and all the information we're trying to give out to the world and stuff like that, lots and lots of places, we're finding more and more people going, there's an interesting message there. Let's kind of lean into this, right? So I've been in business since 1990, my final year in high school, 89, 90, where I started a window cleaning company as part of a pet project in high school that lasted 3, almost 4 years. I've been the owner of quite a few cleaning business franchises and independent cleaning businesses, e-com product lines. I've sold up to $50,000 a month worth of stuff on Amazon while running my cleaning companies, not cleaning related, just learning stuff and playing around and stuff like that. I've owned consultancies, helped other cleaners grow. I've lectured on stages and hosted 3-day elite retreats around the world, in Orlando and Vegas and Chilliwack, BC, and the island of Samoa. So I'm a keynote speaker, author, all that kind of stuff on the topic of the stuff we're about to talk about. And I've built businesses, high-end, like low volume, high-end, high profit businesses that, again, I was in the truck for the first 1.5 to 2 years and said, yay, love the industry, not wanting to be one of the guys in the truck. I can't get my work done if that's the case. How can I replace myself and be profitable enough to hire people to go out and do the work while making enough money to pay my paycheck and grow the company, right? And grow my companies. And that, learning all of that creates other opportunities, because now you got other business owners going, oh, do you want to partner with me? Do you want, local business owners, do you want to buy me out on all of those kinds of things as well, because they see great marketing in the marketplace. So we're going to talk about why that's important. So there's a little bit of the CleanFacts and the history. I get all that fun stuff that you guys know. Industry Leader of the Year last year and all of the other trainings we do and stuff like that. And I've got something special I'm trying to cook up for January, February with Jeff Cross and the ISSA. Keep an eye out for that. We'll let you know if we can get that pulled together, but something really, really interesting as well, to really, really help the industry propel forward, and you as cleaners and business owners really, really grow and strategize about your business. So, all right, here's what we do for our clients. Should start adding more and more of those. If you want to follow us on social media, you see lots of them. Haven't really updated that slide in a while, but there's lots and lots and lots of testimonials and kudos coming in from our clients that we've helped double and triple their businesses and stuff like that. How do we do it? We leverage the 3 core principles of marketing success, right? And what we do is we make our clients the top cleaning brand in the marketplace, so they attract the best clients. They are able to charge the top rates, make the most money, and they're booked out weeks in advance, right? So the whole idea, there's only a few levers you can pull, right? You need more money from more people more often. If you can get more money from more people more often, your business is going to grow. So if we think that, for example, there's about 220 working days in a year, 250 if you work Saturdays, roughly, that kind of idea. So if you've got that, you got one guy in a truck and you've got 2 trucks on the road, you have the ability to do, or one guy in a truck and you've got the ability to do two jobs a day, you have 500 jobs you can do, right? 2 trucks on the road, 1,000 jobs you can do. 1,000 jobs and your average job is $1,000, not unheard of. Very easy. We've got clients who their average job is over $750, $800, right? So, very close to that threshold. You've got $1 million a year business with 2 trucks on the road. Bit of a stretch, might be. It's right market, absolutely doable. But is it okay to have a $750,000 or a $500,000 business with 2 trucks on the road? One guy in each truck? Totally doable in most marketplaces. Maybe not all carpet cleaning. Maybe if you're in a lower market, you go wide. If you're in a very good market, good medium family incomes, good demographics, good numbers, and you become the best known cleaner, you go deep, right? So you either go deep or wide, but you can definitely build a $500,000 to $1 million business in 2 or 3 years. And we know how to show you how. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, is one of those things that show you how, right? So those 3 principles, as we talked about: maximize your opportunities, generate a qualified lead. We're going to talk about one of those opportunities. Why is SEO and organic rankings one of those opportunities? All the other master classes we've done talk about the other opportunities to generate a qualified lead. Where are your qualified leads trying in inquiries? Again, I don't like that word leads. It's actually inquiries. I changed it on the screen and have not changed my vocabulary yet. But where are those qualified people? Let's call them that. Where are those qualified people hanging out? Online, offline, around the water cooler, clubs, groups, who else has them collected together? Who are some of the other local businesses that already know the ideal client for you, that you can partner with and have conversations with? You help them, they help you. You scratch their back, they'll scratch your back. You give to get, right? So you want to maximize those opportunities. And one of those opportunities we're going to talk about today is organic placement online. And we're going to figure out why. You want to maximize your brand impressions, right? People need to see a brand 5, 7, 9 times. Google calls it ZMOT, zero moment of truth. You need to be seen 11 times before somebody's actually going to choose you and buy from you. They might think it's the first time. Oh my God, I just thought of a carpet cleaner. I need carpet cleaning right now. I'm going to get these guys. Do you know that they are impacted by the door hangers, the yard signs, the back of buses, the social media interactions they've seen about you and your business? Not ads, not discounts, not deals, actual quality content, helping them, becoming that local authority. Done well, those brand impressions, maybe people have talked about you already. Maybe other customers have talked about you. Maybe somebody they know has talked about you. They've handed out your business card. They've referred, you've done a cleaning here for Mrs. Jones, and Mrs. Jones shared out a social post you gave her to share out online after the job, right? As a referral reward program, because you're a great marketer. You do that well, they have been impressed upon you a number of times before they ever find you. And you can see how all of that plays together. We don't trust anybody that we've heard about for the first time. We might think they're okay, but we now need some endorsed trust. We now need to know that is the mechanic or the garage that, I don't know, Matthew McConaughey uses. Well, I like Matthew McConaughey. He seems like a smart guy. Maybe I should use his mechanic, right? Maybe the mechanic will promote that because we kind of put, celebrities on a pedestal for no reason. But you know what I mean? Like things like that. There's reasons why. Maybe a social influencer that some of the homeowners that you want to clean for follow in the local marketplace because they're a local social influencer. Maybe they do a shout out about you, right? That's a brand impression. Doesn't mean the person needs a carpet cleaning right now, but 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, if you're on their radar and then they do, you percolate up to the top of the list if you're doing your job well. And then you maximize your ability to convert. It's not good enough to be seen where they look and be known, right? Best known is better than the best. You have to know how to convert people. So that is what's on your website. That is what they see, your reputation as it's marketed, because you're a marketer of cleaning services first and foremost. You want to be marketing all of these messages properly. There is a lot here. And everybody says, John, that's a lot. The answer is, yep. Owning a business is a lot. You have to learn stuff and you have to level up your game every day, every year. Being a human being on planet Earth is a lot. You have to level up your game and yourself every single day, every single week, every single month. The new version of you should be so much better than the old version of you every year. that should be your goal, right? To learn more and expand and just be a better human being for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for your customers and for your staff, right? So all of that is also learning how to convert better, right? So for today, that's the little kind of intro rant on what we're all about, why we even do this in the first place. Question for today, does SEO still matter in 2024? So let's peel that onion back a little bit with Ross Geller's help. Okay, so Denver carpet cleaning. Somebody's in Denver, they type in carpet cleaning, or they type in carpet cleaning near me. This is what they're going to see. I can't put it all in one page. It'd be too tiny, like way and long, but this is what they're going to see. They're going to see all of this stacked on top of each other in their search results, right? Whether it's a mobile device or a desktop. Now you're going to say, well, John, everybody uses their cell phones. Do you know that for a fact? Have you looked at the stats? Because I have. The answer is that people that start on a mobile device, unless it's an emergency, dog had an anal blowout all over the home because it got into something in the garbage, and you walked home and went, oh, and that's an emergency. Yep, they're on their phone. They make a decision on their phone. They're done on their phone. Most people take a little bit more time. The smart people, the more educated people, the higher income people study a little bit more before they make a decision on things. There's a little bit more thought put into it. There's a little bit more time and attention because they want to solve the problem once for a long time, if not forever. They want to find their person, their people that solve this and move on. Right? So once they find those people, if those people are good at what they do, I just had a conversation in our private Facebook group about this recently. So if you're not a member of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Secrets, ping us, join. It's a great place to learn about marketing and have conversations like this. But we were just talking about that idea that how somebody asked the question, John, how do I attract a customer away from somebody else in the marketplace who's doing a great job? And my answer is you shouldn't be able to. And that's all right. There is abundance. You don't need everybody. You need like 500 to 1,000 repeating clients a year to have $1 million business. We just proved that at the beginning, right? So you don't need everybody. If you're in a town with 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, 200,000 homes, and you need 500 of them to be permanent customers, you just got to work at it and find the ones, 95 to 99% of businesses actually suck at running businesses well. That's why 80% fail within the first 5 years, another 80% fail within the next 5 years, carpet cleaning included. That is the stats from the Small Business Administration in the US and Canada and around the world, because we don't know what we don't know. And a lot of people just choose not to learn it and level up their skills like we talked about, right? So ultimately, you want to make sure that you are the one that delivers a great service. You choreograph it, you plan it, you present it, you teach your staff on how to do it, and it's consistent. Because if you do it great this time and not so great this time and a little bit different this time, and eventually it's like, I don't know about these guys. If you deliver a consistently great service across multiple technicians, whether it's you or one of your employees, because you built a system and you trained that system and all of that kind of stuff, then yeah, the word will get out. And the people that can't keep, the other competitors that can't keep up and do that, yeah, their customers are going to bleed over to you eventually, over time, little by little by little. And how are they going to do that? They're going to go, I need to look for a new carpet cleaner. I wasn't really happy with my guy last time. He was good for the first 2 or 3 times. Last time kind of sucked. I'm ready to go back to the well. And they type this in. They're going to see local service ads. So you need to be there. But only about 10% stop there. They're going to see Google pay-per-click ads. So you need to be there, maximizing your opportunities to find an ideal lead, right? So if somebody types it in, they're looking for it right now. And there's ways to teach Google's algorithm to only show these to the better and better people. That's what our team does, is constantly works up, teaching the algorithm over time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 9 months into a pay-per-click program, local service ad program. They get better and better and better and better and better and better and better targeting. Not because we can actually tweak that right from the day one. It's because we have to teach an algorithm how to go, oh, you want more of those, right? So Maps, another place. This is now starting organic. You pay, you show up tomorrow. Right? Down here, you can't pay to be in the maps. You have to influence this map section, which came from the phones, which came from maps driving. It's a whole module that Google just embeds right here. And it only shows you the top 3 based on proximity to the person searching and a whole bunch of reviews and doing posts and images and signals around the web and a whole bunch of stuff. We'll talk about a little bit of that, but we talked a whole bunch about that in our Google Maps ranking masterclass there a month or 2 ago. So you can go back to that one, but we'll talk a little bit as it relates to website and organic. And then the websites and the directories, which are websites, show up in organic, right? So interestingly, 73% of the clicks comes from the maps and the organic. Only 27% or less, in some markets even less, come from the paid ads. 67% of the clicks, so 73 come from all of that, 67 come from the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So of all clicks in search, when people are searching Google, which is about 60% of the crowd who have nobody in mind already, go to Google. If they have a name in mind, they're just going to type that name in and they're going to try and find that person. They're going to call that person. You don't even really need to pay for pay-per-click for those, because are you really going to try and bleed them away from if they really want to call, the Stanley Steamer? Is your ad really going to bleed them away? No, you can fake it and try and get them to go to your website. Oh, I thought it was Stanley Steamer. That's not going to help you either. No. But there's things you can do and play that game a little bit. But ultimately, you want to find the people that have no name in mind. They pass by these because they're not being influenced, which is the majority. And 67% of them are going to go here, right? And what we know is that about of that 30%, like of 30 to 35% do the maps. The entire rest, 40 to almost 50%, start going down here. Why? Because the Yelps are there and the Angie's lists are there and the 3 best rated and other things like that, but so are the websites. So if you can meet their search criteria in your title, in your description, and write a description that prompts the click, as we call it, you can collect them to come to your website. So how do you get over here for 1 million? That's one search term. There's 3, 4, 5,000 possible iterations of those search terms for carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile cleaning. And your website's got to try and show up for all of them. We're going to talk about that. So ultimately, yes, SEO still matters because it's still where people go. Some people go, right? On Google. As I said, about 60% of the population goes to Google. 40% go everywhere else but. So it's not the end all be all. Some people ask their interior designer, ask the real estate agent, ask the flooring store that installed the carpet, installed the tile, whatever. They go on social media and they ask. Like there's a million ways that like that other 40% find who they want as a service provider. They have their own ways. 60%, when you have no name in mind, go to Google. So that's what we're talking about, right? When you see the stats of a well-seasoned company, so one that has been running SEO for a while, their website ranks really well. Their Google Maps listing ranks for as wide of a circle as possible around their known pin. If they're a service area business, trust me, Google does not, even if you say, oh, I service the whole state, they know where they sent the postcard, they know where you live, and they still only do a radius. And it's only about 10 miles in average towns, 15 if you're in a really small town, 5 miles around your pin drop if you're in a really dense town and you need a lot of work to work it out. And that's only if you do the work. About a mile or less if you have never done any work. You should show up if you type in carpet cleaning near me and you're in your office or you're in your home and that's where your home office. Yeah, of course you should show up, right? Sometimes you don't because your phone is actually playing games with you and Google's playing games because you've searched so many times and it knows your history. But on a brand new device, never searched before, no history of you, and you type in carpet cleaning near me or any of those terms, you should show up at your home. Walk a mile away and see if you do. We can actually run heat maps and show you if you do or don't across hundreds of keywords, right? But what I'm getting at here is when you get traffic, more poles in the water, your whole goal in life, in business, is to have more poles in the water that catch a few fish. You don't want one pole that's trying to catch 20, 30, 40 fish. You want to have 20, 30 poles that catch 1, 2, 3 fish. Now you've got 100 fish. You'll never get that from one poll. You'll never get that from Facebook ads. You'll never get that from just running local service ads. You'll never get that from just, you pick it, postcards. You'll never get that from just knocking on doors and getting out the door and meeting with real estate agents and interior designers. You'll get some of that from each of those. You need to think of the 20, 30, 40 things you can put in place that get you 2, 3, 4 inquiries, 1, 2, 3 jobs a month, because you're good at converting. Like we talked about at the beginning, your conversion rate's 50, 60%, not 20, 30%. So you need to track it and know it, right? Once you have all of that information in place and you really are running a legit business, this is one of our clients, 286 inquiries in a month from their digital marketing efforts that we provided. 127 of them, 44% came from their website, organic traffic. How do we know that? Because anytime somebody lands on your website, Google's tracking that. In Google Analytics called Gclid, we track that as well inside some of our automation tools like Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro and things like that. We track that so that we know where inquiries came from, what keywords. We know if they turned into phone calls, which now is called a conversion to at least a qualified lead, qualified inquiry, and then to jobs, right? So there's ways to track all of that. We know that 89 came from Google Maps, 31%. We know that 12%, almost 13%, came from Facebook paid ads being run. We know another 9% almost came from Google AdWords. We know that some ad extensions were turned on that allowed the Google AdWords to show up in Google Maps listings as a fourth listing in markets where they didn't appear, and with other ad extensions turned on, call onlys and things like that. We know that we got 5 from that. And we also know that Facebook ad content, so promoting content, running contests, things like that, that created another 3. So all of those to have, ROI, return on investment. The investment for organic takes longer, but when it shows up, holy crap, if you never invest in it, it never appears. It's not a pay to play like AdWords paid ads where you pay, you show up, and then you just teach the algorithm over, a month, 2, 3. We're now talking about organic needing to take its time and season and be done well. And there's a game to play. And when it's done well, 75% of your new inquiries should be coming from organic. If you've been in SEO for a while, a year, 2, 3, you will see your business have an asset that you can sell. What does that mean? When you go to sell your business, you can say, hey, our organic listings generates all of this. That, as long as you maintain it, right? It's kind of slow to rise, slow to fail, right? Whereas this, as soon as you stop paying, turns off. The next day, you will not get a phone call. They don't know about you. This, slow to rise, slow to fail. So you can sell that with your business as way more valuable than your trucks and your equipment and truck mounts and all that kind of stuff. In fact, most of that should not be valued at all. When I sold my business, I said, value that at 0. What is my business worth with all of this other stuff? Went to the business advisor and the small business bank and said, hey, and then that value was, what I was asking for the business was actually less than the value that our asset value of our organic rankings and database and marketing and perception in the marketplace was. And that gives you an exit strategy as well. So yes, SEO drives calls. You can't rely on word of mouth or paid ads alone. I love people that say, hey, how do you grow your business? It's all word of mouth. I don't do any marketing. It's all word of mouth. Really? You show up in a plain van with jeans and a t-shirt on and don't have a business card. You answer your phone, hey, it's Tom. And you go and do cleaning. You have no logos. You do no marketing. You haven't talked to anybody about your business. People go, yeah, I use Tom. Call Tom. What's Tom? Well, here's Tom's phone number. No, that doesn't work. Sorry about your luck. If you are the world's most special person where that worked for one person, I guarantee you for the next 20,000 people, that won't work. I've never seen it work myself. So you are the marketer of cleaning services. You have to have marketing as your main focus. Every day you need to be marketing to generate customers in multiple different ways. You have to be thinking about marketing. You have to be able to get out of the truck and out of the mindset of being a technician in the truck long enough to market yourself, maybe 1 day a week to start with, then 2, then 3, that kind of idea, so that you can put people in the vehicle that for $20, $30 an hour to do the work, while you do the $100, $200, $500 an hour job of growing the business. And that is a $100, $200, $500, $1,000 job. It really is. So, and you can prove it in the math that the customers that come back. It's not just that's what the job pays. It's actually that's what the job generates. If you're out marketing your company properly, you're out knocking on doors and meeting people and going to condos, say, for example, and meeting and offering a free cleaning in a condo. And next thing you know, you get the condo hallways, they give you a trial, then they give you all the hallways. And then you're good at marketing and you get half the building to be also customers of yours. And that adds $20,000 a year to your bottom or your top line revenue, $6,000 to your bottom line profitability every single year. From that one condo visit, how valuable was that? How valuable was your time to talk to that guy for an hour, come back and do an hour or two of cleaning, and then work your way up? Maybe you invested 4 or 5 hours in that, and that was $20,000 a year for the next 5, 10, 20 years if you're good at keeping it, if you're good at marketing and keeping the retention, right? So word of mouth, paid ads, lead sources alone, not good. You need to be ranking. So what are the biggest changes? Let's go through that. That's what we're here to talk about today. Oh, let's just get them all listed here. Topical authority and content clusters are what's driving rankings now. So stop thinking about keywords, sort of. We'll talk about that. Human expertise is required, even with AI-assisted content. We're going to show you how Google, does it allow AI-assisted content? Yes. But is it so prolific that everybody can provide it, therefore it's watered down and weak? Is AI really bad at writing really good stuff that people actually care about? Yep. So you can't just spit out a whole bunch of chat GPT content and go, oh, look at me, I'm ranking. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to cut it. Back in the day, they used to call it spun content, where you could take one piece of content and change all the words throughout it with 3 or 4 different iterations of the words and go spin, spin, spin. Right. And next thing you know, 1,000 different pages you can put all over the internet. Oh, look at me, all unique content. No. That was easily figured out by Google. It didn't take it very long, a year or two, and they went, and all of a sudden, you had nothing. Why? Because authenticity counts. And it counts even more now in the world, the days of AI, than it's ever counted before. Entity SEO and local presence optimization is key. Entity SEO, we're going to talk about what that is. User experience and core web vitals are critical ranking factors. So we're going to break these 4 down. Let's talk about these 4, because this is what's changing and moving the needle now. Topical authority and content clusters. You want to develop what are called pillar pages. You want to become the topical authority in your local marketplace for what people are searching for that Google can trust, right? So each core service and each service area page, we'll talk a little bit more about why they're different, right? Those are your pillar pages. Your home page, your service pages, and your service area pages. Those are the topical authority pages that you want to build content clusters around. You want to ensure that they cover all relevant aspects. You can utilize AI tools to draft them, but you need a human who understands SEO, nuance, your topics, your services, your local marketplace, you as an expert in the local marketplace, to create the final content from that. AI will never get there, not in the next little while. And as soon as they do, now it's prolific, and the humanized part of it now still becomes the only defining factor. It's always going to be the better AI gets. Now that the genie's out of the bottle, the more the human element is going to count. The more video and personalization and customer stories are even more and more and more going to count, right? You want to create supporting content clusters that link back to these pillar pages. So you might have a page on carpet cleaning. How many words do you need on it? I'm going to tell you right now, it's 1,000 to 1,500 in today's day and age. 800 is not even going to cut it before. You know how many pages and websites I audit and our team audits on a daily basis that have like 100 words on them? Well, I have this really nice website. It looks pretty, John. Yeah, it looks pretty as a brochure and nobody's coming to it. Look at your traffic. I can prove to you had 5 people last month. Why? Because it's not enough content. It's not the content that people want to read. Done well, people will read the next line, the next line, the next line, and so will the AI bots or the Google's bots, and the spiders, and they'll get the relevance that you're using enough content and enough local experience and enough all of that stuff to tie it together, and then you're creating a whole new layer around it, right? So you've got pages on carpet cleaning on your website as an example, tile cleaning, upholstery cleaning, targeting your main topical keywords and a bunch of these secondary keywords that people type in around that, because again, there's 2,000 to 3,000 different ways to say it for each one of those services. And you've got to start peppering that in. You got to know what Google's telling you, right? So it's people ask questions. Now you've got to create content. How much does carpet cleaning cost in San Antonio, Texas? People are asking that. What's the range? Do you have an article on that? Pointing to your carpet cleaning page and maybe pointing over to your San Antonio page as well for your service area. How long does it take carpets to dry, in, I don't know, Toronto, Canada in the fall? Be surprised how many people ask those types of questions. Do you got answers around those? Maybe one of your articles talks about seasonality, not a one for each, but seasonality and the difference in drying times and your method being different and stuff like that. And it links to your carpet cleaning page and it links to some of your city pages. Right now, you've got topical authority clusters underneath the main content. Well written, well researched, based on what people are already asking. You want to optimize your content by interlinking. I just talked about that to your pillar page and also to other pages. You can use AI to do that. Like that's an assistance task. Hey, research my entire website, come up with some internal linking suggestions across all of that, right? You'll need tools like Screaming Frog. You'll need tools like Ahrefs. You'll need tools to grab the data so that you can hand it to AI. You'll need to know how to prompt AI well to be able to give you that answer. And then you need a human reviewer who understands, you got that wrong. You're just an assistant, right? Go grab me coffee. You're good. You're not great, right? But that's what AI is meant to be, is an assistant. It will hallucinate. It will go off on tangents. You dial it back in. You want to regularly update and expand your pillar pages and add more topical authority content. We strongly suggest, how weird does this sound? We strongly suggest, and all of our clients in our main programs get this, at least one blog post a week, at least one press release syndicated out to the newswire a month to create a whole bunch of ranking signals back, well-written content around topical authority clusters that link into the pages that you have, all of that. And we suggest that every 3 months, that's what we do, you do a full AI and human audit of all of your main pages of your website and all of the remaining content on your website to find out what you can do to improve it versus where it's showing up in the search engines right now. Is that more FAQs? Is that adding more local content into a carpet cleaning page, an upholstery cleaning page? Is that adding more service-based content or point of interest content into a service area page, neighborhood content into a service area page, happy client stories as clusters underneath a service area page linking to all of that? What is it? You will know by doing a deep dive audit. $500 to $1,000 worth of effort every 3 months, every 90 days to create the next 90-day plan. You should be thinking in those terms, right? That sounds like a lot, John. I get it. At least start with the basics, because if you're expanding your content, good, better, best, good is at least telling happy customer stories once a week, once every 2 weeks, minimum. Creating new content on your website every week would be ideal. Creating new Google Maps posts every week about the content you just put on your website, doing social media posts, posting it onto all of your directories and citations and listings and Better Business Bureaus and all that, linking back to your website, linking over here and getting some people to click to come through. You do all of that. Now your topical authority content is getting out there as well. The bots see it, the humans see it, and your website just starts showing up. Why is this all important? Because Google's algorithm is now called EEAT. Don't take my word for it. Take Search Engine Land, the Hoth, Google itself, right? Google added an extra E. This was December 2022. So all coming up to 2 years ago. They added the new E. EAT stood for expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Your content need to show that you have the expertise, You have the authority and you have the trustworthiness to be providing that answer, that information. Google's whole algorithm is built around proving that. And we'll talk about how they do that. The extra E was added was your experience. Can Google prove that you, the author of the content, authorship, has the experience to talk about their expertise, has the authority, and can be trusted? How does Google even figure that out? Right? So how much does the creator have firsthand knowledge? Google's got to figure that out. How much does the creator know the subject matter? Okay, how's Google finding these answers? Got to think about that. Because once you know, this is what Google's looking for. This is what their bots are looking for. This is what the algorithm is now designed to look for. And it's using AI and everything else and Google's deep brain and all that kind of stuff to figure this out. Let's figure out how they're doing it, right? Because if you can, you've now cracked the code. And now you know how to start influencing the algorithm slowly over time. There's no light switch in marketing. Everything takes time to build and develop, right? You got to get through to the authoritativeness. Do you have the reputation? Why do we talk about marketing your reputation? Don't get reviews and then just leave them on Google. Reviews are great, but get feedback from every one of your customers. Some of them are going to write reviews because you've asked them to. After they've given you feedback, market the feedback and the reviews all over the internet, everywhere anybody could possibly look. You do that, and then you get other people telling stories about it, and you reply to every single review and on and on and on. Now you've got some authority. You write articles for your local chamber of commerce or whatever. You've got some authority. And how accurate, honest, and reliable is the page? Google knows if it's AI generated. Google doesn't say that we're going to demote you for it. But if it's obviously 80, 90, 100% written by AI, Google's going to go, I don't trust you. You just broke the T in trust in the EAT algorithm. But if you got the AI to build an outline for a great article, and then you wrote in some content and asked it to help you refresh it, you brought in Grammarly AI to help you fix the grammar, and when you're all done, you ran this great 1,500 word multi-step article with, with a table of contents at the top and a summary first, key points and a summary, and then great content and all that kind of stuff on your website, teaching somebody or helping somebody with how to care for Persian area rugs properly, right? That's answering one of the questions or 3 or 4 of the topical questions that they ask that are related that link to the Persian or area rug cleaning page, right? Topical authority pillar page. This is topical authority cluster content that links up 2 or 3 concepts on that one article, 1,500 words, and Google, you run it through a AI detector and it says 0.5% AI. You've just got some trust from Google because you have the experience. How do you know that? Well, you've got your, wool safe certificate and you got a link to that. You've got on your authors page, you've got, you've gone through courses, you got IRCS training, you've got the expertise, your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn profiles show that you're a subject matter on this stuff. You've written in other publications, perhaps, or, think about it. You're a carpet cleaner. Think about the different ways you can do that. I used to write, not because of this, but to grow my business. I had a column in 3, 4 different local newspapers in my 20s, Ask the Expert. And I was the expert on carpet care and home and allergies and indoor air quality. They got me to write a couple hundred words every month. And interestingly, when I got the Ask the Expert column in another paper, because I reached around, some of them I had to pay for, some of them I just became the expert because I reached out to the editors and the reporters and stuff like that. I had a whole history of articles I'd already written for the other paper. I only had to write them once to stay one ahead. I became the expert. How many jobs did I get from that? Lots. I don't know. I wasn't in the truck. We got lots of phone calls. Heather in the office answered them, booked them in. I worried about growing the company. All right. So improving your EAT. You want to showcase your firsthand experience everywhere you can. Happy client stories, project stories, all over social media, all over your website, all over your Google Maps posts. You want to do posts. You want to do images. Everywhere you possibly can that Google's going to catch. Your expertise. Display your competency. Again, that is your certificates. And, if you're on the IRCRC website, if you're a member of the ISSA, Good shout out, Jeff Cross. Join the ISSA, be part of associations, and put those links on your website in your author's bio. Every article should be authored by you, right? You want your authority, right? So you want to exhibit your authority and your authoritativeness. And you want to, all of that, be able to be seen as trustworthy by not spamming and scamming. That was number one. A lot packed in there. Number two, human expertise is required even with AI assisted content. We talked about that. You want to craft a content strategy that reflects your brand voice. What is your brand voice? Well, the foundation of building any company, this is from our coaching 101, compelling sales proposition, risk reversal guarantee that is so shocking your competitors wouldn't even consider keeping up because it stands out as a marketing message. That's the only reason why you need to be shocking. You want to be able to have your founder's story, origin story, what you're all about and why you're different. If you can't stand out, you're a commodity. Sorry, race to the bottom, lowest price, or nobody has a reason to choose you. You think this stuff through and be a little bit more strategic, your business doubles, then doubles again. All right. And the final one is impactful brand messaging. What is your brand voice? That will determine your logos. Maybe time to upgrade your logo and your brand and do a brand refresh in the marketplace. Coke's done it. Pepsi's done it. Everybody's done it. Maybe it's time for a brand refresh. Maybe the sketch that your cousin's 9-year-old daughter did for you, your niece, I guess. No, cousins, once removed. I guess that is. Yeah. Anyways, whatever layer that is, maybe that person drew a sketch. Oh, I should make that my logo. Maybe you shouldn't anymore because you want to have a brand and a brand voice that resonates with your ideal target audience. Who is that? Right? You can have a couple of them, commercial, residential, but who is your ideal target audience really? Right? If you do 70, 80% residential and the ideal client should pay you, $1,000 a year, maybe $500 per visit, and you're there twice a year because upholstery one time and carpets the next, tile, wood floor, whatever you do, right? So you're getting $1,000 per customer. You only need 1,000 customers, then 2 trucks on the road to generate $1 million business, as we talked about. So if that is your ideal customer, what does your brand say to them? Can you say in a tagline, a risk reversal guarantee, and a logo, and a look of your van and your door hangers and your yard signs and all, who you are and what you represent? If that is very, very clear, right, that helps content your content strategy. You now know that, cart before the horse, and now you can use AI to help you build a content briefs around that. Combine AI-generated drafts with human storytelling to create engaging, authentic content. Are you telling stories of customers on your pillar pages, on your secondary topical authority pages leading up to that? Oh, that reminds me of this customer I did when we were cleaning their area rug. There is no AI on the planet that's going to write that. You write that in, not only does Google pick it up, people are engaged when they read it. Somebody, again, that 73% of people that go to Google Maps or the organic, and about 45 to 50% of them actually go to the organic, and they're reading about how to care for their Persian rug. Is the winter the best time? Is the winter, the spring, or summer the best time to clean, have my Persian rugs cleaned, right? Those are questions that people ask. You write, you know what? We get asked this question a lot. Here, right? So you got AI helping you, but you're writing the content as well, or you hire a team that knows how to write in your industry that aren't web360.com or you name it, all that kind of stuff, that are a bunch of, lovely people, but have never worked in the cleaning industry and have no clue. They're guessing. Don't hire guessers. Anyways, use AI to suggest on-page SEO optimization, but have the human experts who have years and years and years of SEO experience to go, that one's way old school. No, AI hallucinated there, but yeah, these things are pretty good points. We can do a couple of these changes, but not that one, or not those 3, right? So you want suggestions, but not the final decision. And implement interlinking strategies using AI. Like, again, have AI do a whole crawl of your whole site. There's tools and ways to do that. Download reports, all that kind of stuff, and then run them through really, really well-written prompts. There's a reason why people that know how to prompt AI well, it's a whole job class called prompt engineering, and they're getting starting salaries of $300,000 a year because they've learned how to think in a conversational communication level, and they've got 5, 6, 7, 10 different frameworks to talk to the AI, because all AI is a large language model. It is just a call and answer. It just happens to be really fast at it. So you have to know how to call properly for it to answer properly. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say. So you want to be able to, ask the right questions, run the right prompts, get a report, determine which ones are the right changes. But you do that, AI can help. Entity SEO and local presence optimization. So your business is an entity. Google actually cares about brands and entities more than they ever have before. So you want to establish your brand online everywhere. So again, that is making sure that some people go, John, do we still need to have you tell me that I'm in 4 directories and I need to be in 200. Yep. Of the right ones, some national, some local, some niche specific. Your brand needs to be found by people and by the search engines and by the bots so that they know that you're an entity, and that's part of your entity SEO. So you need to do that. You don't do that, your competitors do that, they're ahead of you. They're just a little bit farther ahead, right? And again, the whole game is outrun the bear. You and your friends in the woods, bear shows up. Come on, John, start running. I bend over and tie my shoes. No, John, start running. You're going to get eaten by the bear. Why are you tying your shoes? Because I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you. Don't want to trip on my shoelaces, right? So again, same idea. You want to make sure that your entity is standing out more than the other people over time, right? So you want to implement schema markup. What's that? Fancy word of saying the code that Google reads, right? So it defines your business, defines your organization, defines your services. There is, Yuli, my director of SEO, is going to hate me if I get this wrong. I think there's 12, maybe 15. Anyways, he's going to tell me tomorrow. That schema markups that you need on any local website. There's lots of schema you don't need, but there is schema markups to help Google read your site. Review schema is another one, or ratings. Authorship schema is another one. Again, somewhere around 12 or 15 that you should be using throughout your entire website. FAQ schema, it keeps coming to me. Anyways, you want to make sure you have them on the right pages in the right places so that Google, I know what your site's about. We audit websites all the time, as I tell you. Most websites we audit do not have schema done properly. If they do, they might have organization schema. That's about less than half the websites we audit, even from guys that have paid thousands and thousands of dollars to SEO companies, maybe tens of thousands of dollars over years, missed the basics. Create and optimize the About Us page. Clearly define your entity. Your About Us page has become more important now than it ever was. It used to be this dead page nobody went to. All of our clients' websites, it's actually one of the second most trafficked page on the website because of the way we build it, because of the way we promote it on the homepage, all of that kind of stuff. People should want to learn about you. And then when they do, it should be a very specific thing about your entity, right? So you want to make sure that it clearly defines your business and links to your relevant external sources. Your author schema, as we talked about, every blog post, not necessarily your pillar pages. They're just like your carpet cleaning, your upholstery cleaning, your tile cleaning, your whatever else you do, window cleaning pages, right? They need to have their service schema on it. And your local service area pages need to have their correct schema on it. But your author is for your layer 2s, your layer 3s, your different tiers. So your authorship schema is actually meant for your topical cluster pages and your blog posts and stuff like that. Who authored that? You should have that built right into your theme if you're using WordPress or whatever. That's why Wix and Weebly's and these these other instant website building things, you can fire up a website now in no time. Can you? Yeah, you can. It looks pretty. I can make a brochure pretty quickly in Canva too. Did it sell anything? I don't know. Some of the best brochures or postcards and door hangers I've had look handwritten. The best ones I get when I collect really good marketing. And if they're running it again and again and again and again, it's because it worked, right? Sometimes I even reach out to the marketer and go, dude, well done. How well is this working for you? Right? The best aren't pretty. They cut through the clutter and they're a little bit ugly as well, just so you know. But so you want to make sure that the author at the bottom of a authorship page is, again, lots of content, well written, linking back to a great pillar page, and that the author of that secondary and third layer content, tier 2, tier 3 content in the topical authority cluster is actually linking to an author's page. So you got an author's bio or snippet, right? And then it links to the author's bio, full bio page, where you're establishing yourself as an authority. And you want to leverage that structured data, local citations, backlinks from reputable local sources to connect your business entity with local events, services, community involvement. Think about this for a minute. Do you think Google cares if you went and flipped hamburgers or hot dogs or pancakes at the local, charity barbecue? They don't even know. Do they care if you actually got a link on the website from that to your business? I'm not saying go do it because of that. Go do it to be a great person, but wear your uniform, your work uniform, wear your hat, talk about your business to the guys beside you that own other businesses, because now you built some referral partners. Have people go, oh, you're the guys that run that carpet cleaning company. Yeah, man, that's it. Here's one of our technicians. There's the office girl, Janice, if you call us. Anyways, how would you like your pancakes? Like, what would you like on them? Would you like some sausage with that? But make sure that you're also got a link on the website. Community involvement, local events, service, all that kind of stuff. Linking back to your website, because that is creating entity SEO. And it's just good for business. So user experience and core web vitals. Page speed counts. Do not have a slow site. And make sure you know how fast it loads. It's how fast it loads to first paint, right? The largest contentful paint. Big word right there. But ultimately what you want to do is make sure that your first contentful paint is very fast. And you want to make sure that your first input delay, when they click a button, how long does it take for it to show the next page or the thing pop up or whatever, things like that as well. You want to make sure that you've got speed on your page, not only on desktop, because as I was saying earlier, yeah, do people use mobile? Sure they do. But people that want to read bounce off of mobile to desktop devices. They start their search on mobile and they extend it back at home or back at the office to get a better user experience in a lot of cases. So when you check the data in Google, in your Google Analytics, you'll notice that more than half your traffic, or at least half your traffic, come to your website comes on desktop devices. Some of that might be the same person twice. Looked it up quickly while waiting in line or at the doctor's office, went back, did the deeper dive, read what they wanted to, and go, these guys seem good, right? Because you got a great website that tells the right story. Use authentic images and videos of your team, your projects, your local area to build trust, enhance local relevance. This is also a conversion principle. If you've got babies lying on carpets and dogs and families sitting on couches, and that's to represent you, and you don't have your van, your team, what you do, the customers, the owner standing with a big check in front of a charity thing or a customer who just won the whole home of cleaning and all that, or your crew in front of a local monument in the one town over, right? Where, hey, we just wrapped up a job around the corner from, I don't know, say you're in Manhattan and Central Park, right? Whatever. What is that thing? What is the clock tower in your area? What is like those kinds of things, right? That builds local relevance on your service area pages, on your homepage, in your stories, in your blogs, all of that kind of stuff. So use that when somebody comes to your website, welcome them with a video. When they go to carpet cleaning page, welcome them with a video. Anything you can that makes it more authentic is also going to help the user experience because they'll stay longer. The longer they stay, the faster it loads, becomes core web vitals that Google goes, oh, these guys are going to rank higher. And it's just good for business. Share client stories and testimonials to promote social proof. See, I said testimonials and not reviews. So we did a training on this recently, one of our master classes on reputation marketing. And I coined the phrase trust engineering. You want to engineer trust, and you don't engineer trust by going, oh, please, sir, give me a review. Please, sir, right? That's a handout, right? So you don't want to be the guy that's always asking, give, right? When you say to somebody, the office is going to follow up with a survey, you're going to be entered into our survey contest to win a $50 Amazon gift certificate, a dinner out at the Keg for you and your wife, whatever. And mind you, we don't do thousands of clients a month. So, your odds of winning are pretty good, but we'd really love you to fill out that feedback. And when you do, can you mind mentioning my name? Because I get brownie points back at the office, right? You teach them that you're going to get a survey by text and email. Then they get the survey by text and email, and they fill out a few questions and they answer a survey, and you take that and they have to tell us about the experience they had with your company. They fill a few boxes, they tell about the experience. It's all internal, it's all private. 60-70% of your clients will fill that out if they're asked correctly, and they don't need to be incentivized to do it because people like to help. As soon as you say, can you give me a review, it feels entirely different. That person is help. The person that gives you the feedback, good, bad, or ugly, knows that it is going to help grow the company, and their next experience with you could even be better. When they write a review, they're just doing you a favor, right? They don't have to do that. And that's why it's about 10% of your customers, unless you are a little shady and, oh, I'll give you a deal if you give me a review, right? Which is, if any of those people turn out to be Google local service guys and blow the whistle on you, you're in trouble because it's against Google's terms of service, right? So you ultimately want to make sure that if you ask for feedback and then on the back end of the feedback, say, hey, thanks so much for the feedback. Really appreciate it. If you don't mind, as a favor, you can go into any of these platforms, Google, Facebook, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, all of them, and leave your comments there. Any ones that you have a login to, that would be really helpful for the next person who looks online about us, right? But you're going to take that testimonial, because you're going to get way more of those than reviews, and you're going to share them everywhere. On your website, on your social media, on your Google Maps listing, as posts, on all your other directory listings, right? It's going to help as well. And on your website, it's going to keep people longer, especially when you're telling client stories. Big one, big one. Ensure mobile responsiveness and intuitive navigation to boost your overall user experience. Where do people look? Well, your phone number better be big and huge in the top right-hand corner. Why? Because everybody's eyes go to the top right-hand corner to figure out how to contact you. And the first thing a lot of people do, and what you actually want to do, is have them call you. You don't want a self-book button up there. How did you tell them why you're different? How have you told your story well enough so far that you have a self-book button and then you have prices higher than your competition and they're still willing to book themselves? Or did you just scare them away? Right? Self-book buttons work if you're the lowest price guy in town and you're just a commodity. But you also didn't build a client. You had a one-time transactional customer that is going to find the lowest price guy next time. A client is the person who needs some influence, needs some conversation. So have your phone number, have a form for them to fill out so that you can call them back because they filled the form out. Have a chat to text so you can start a text conversation with them with the goal of trying to get them off of text and onto the phone. And if not getting them off the text onto the phone, then you at least know how to sell by chat, because it's a whole different way of selling than influencing by phone. And you want to influence the conversation with a script on taking them down the road so that you go from 30% booking of people that have never heard of you before, like this is their first time reaching out to you, to 40%, to 50%. Try and beat my record of 75, almost 80%. I think we hit 80% a couple times over the years, but 75 was our average across all of our office girls, because we trained them on scripts, got them good at it, and worked them up to 75% of cold traffic booking with us because of our phone scripts. How do you do that with text? You got to learn how to sell by chat. Okay, so here are some of the many ways to increase your speeds. Enable compression. So depending on what type of website you have, again, Wix, Weebly's, all those kind of stuff, this becomes a little bit more challenging. But you want to enable compression of the images, again, minify the JavaScripts and the HTMLs and all that. There's tools that can do this for you. You might want to use a CDN. You want to reduce all of the redirects. You don't want things jumping all over the place. You want to remove render blocking JavaScripts. These are some technical terms. So if you don't know what these mean, talk to your web dev and say, have we done this? You want to leverage browser caching. So you want to make sure that if they come back to your website, it's been cached. It's not a brand new build, a brand new build, a brand new build. The only part that changes is the new part. Everything else is cached. You can do that with CDNs as well, things like Cloudflare and stuff like that, right? You want to improve server response time. So not just the time to first load, but how long does it take your server to react? If you're on a shared hosting with HostGator, that's entirely different than being on a enterprise level server that costs you $50 to $100 a month, because you've got your own IP address and an instant spin up, like your rack is running, right? So those things all count. Use a content distribution network, CDN, as I talked about. Again, that's Cloudflare. Optimize your images. In today's day and age, images need to be web. What I was trying to get out is WebP, not JPEGs, not PNGs, the new version, because it's much, much smaller. It's far more compressed. So you want to have those images optimized as well. What else can you change? Right? SEO tactics from 2 years ago, a lot of them are no longer effective. Psychology might be the same, but the tactics are different. It used to be keyword. Google now cares about topics, topical authority clusters. It understands that if you say, "Hey, I'm looking to have some linguine tonight," it's going to find Italian restaurants near you. It knows all of that context, where you are, what your IP address is, what's near you, and that it's Italian. All of that's a topical cluster, not a keyword. The website doesn't necessarily have to mention linguine. It probably should, but it should be a recipe for linguine underneath their one of their pages. Their dine-in experience, takeout experience, whatever. They should have in their topical authority cluster talking about their mama's old recipe that was used in creating their linguine and blah blah blah, and customers' comments on it, not testimonials, but actually throughout. And maybe some of those customers were the mayor and whatever else, and linking, and on and on and on and on, right? So that's how we tie all of everything we've talked about today together. So hopefully that starts to make sense. In post, panda, penguin, pigeon, hummingbird, and all these other crazy animals that Google comes up with to explain why they're actually destroying your rankings, it's all about user experience optimization, UX, they call it. It's not about stuffing. You don't go, you don't mention in your title, your H2, as they call it, your secondary title, your content, 20 times through the content and all this kind of stuff. Carpet cleaning, San Diego, right? You don't mention that all over the place like that. It's peppered in lightly to give the context. It's put into your schema. It's put into your meta title and descriptions a little bit. And so is the nuance of that, because you understand what topical authority clusters are. And of the clusters, which ones are you going to add to this page? And what are you going to add to other pages that relate? Are you going to do a cannibalization test every few months, maybe every 6 months or so, to see if you've created pages that cannibalize against another page? What does that mean? You've got 2 pages ranking for the same thing. Google Search Console will help you figure that out. And you want to make sure that you combine them then in 301 redirect them and stuff like that. There's a lot involved. When it's done right, you sell your business for many, many multiples of your annual, your monthly or your annual profits, right? Many, many multiples, even as a small 1, 2, 3 truck company, because you or somebody that you've hired, you're the marketer of your service business. You've hired the experts to help you. They understand all of this stuff, right? So it requires heavy focus on user experience optimization and technical on-site SEO, like we just talked about. So click-through rate is key. You want to make sure that when people see something and they click through, if you don't get click-throughs, Google goes, nah, these guys don't even have the starting point, right? So again, if you're as old as me, you remember maybe if you stayed up at night and watched advertising, you remember a guy by the name of Don Lapre talking about, you can make money with tiny classified ads, right? Well, tiny classified ads online in Google is pay-per-click, right? But it's also down below in the organic title and a few words. That's all they got to look at. The internet is tiny classified ads that you get to write the content in and try and generate the click. Back in the day of tiny classified ads, whether it was, to find, or to buy something, sell something, find a partner, whatever the reason for the classified ad section was, and it was pages and pages and pages deep that people went in for different reasons and different stuff and all of that kind of stuff. You wanted to make sure that they paused on it and maybe called you, whatever the thing was. That's now in today's day and age, the click through. You want to make sure that your page, your title, your description prompts the click, gets them to the page authentically, so they don't go, that wasn't what I wanted, and bounce, because you want time on page to be the next most important thing. Got to the page and stayed there. They've got to scroll down, right? The best place to hide a dead body on the internet is page 2 of Google. Nobody ever goes there. Second best place is the bottom of page 1, because less people scroll there. You want to make sure that your scroll rate is good. How do you do that? They come to the page, maybe a video, maybe a topic, maybe a summary at the top. And then what they're going to get below entices them to the next section, They scroll down, they see some images. And they're not babies lying on carpets. They are you and your team actually doing the work. People will stop. Now you've moved them down the page. You want to make sure the bounce rate is something you're watching very closely. If people come to a page and bounce within seconds, Google notices that and starts demoting you in the rankings. So you want to make sure they come and stick. so that your titles and descriptions and what's on the page tells the same story. Just like when you're running pay-per-click, you want to make sure your titles and descriptions are clickable for the right client, the right target audience, right? And then when they land on your landing page, not your website, if you've got anybody running pay-per-click and they're taking people to your homepage of your website, fire them today. They should be going to dedicated landing pages that they can split test, period. End of story. On that landing page, you want to make sure that people aren't bouncing. If they're bouncing, you've got a mismatch somewhere. And you got to fix that. Same in SEO. You want your entity brand, is huge, and Google loves brands. So you want to make sure you have a number of citations, reviews, and relevant links around your brand is all in locked in. So, new SEO formula: identify key topics and services that define your business, forming a foundation for the pillar pages. This is just a recap. Create comprehensive pillar pages for each service and each service area, supported by content clusters that reinforce your authority and utilize schema markup to enhance your entity recognition. Optimize your website for user experience. Be authentic, be about them, understand what causes conversions. Make sure that every time they scroll down, there's another set of buttons for them to because they don't remember where to go. People treat them as goldfish. They turned around, they forgot everything. Boom, boom, boom. Pull them down the page, but give them something to do every single time you do. Make it authentic, about you, and user experience. Optimize your site for SEO and on-site optimization, interlinking, the content, all that stuff we've talked about. Build your authority off-site. Be authoritative off-site everywhere you possibly can. Have links coming back, have content. Be a business leader in your local community around cleaning. Be a topical expert around cleaning and home cleaning and carpet cleaning. It's the craft you chose, right? If you're a hardwood floor, cleaner and refinisher and restorer and stuff like that, you follow Courtney Lee, you do all that kind of stuff. Cool. Be an authority on it and then talk about it. Help people with it. Teach them stuff all over the place and have all of those link back to your website. You now get seen by Google and your local marketplace as the go-to. Now your price is not an issue anymore. And track your results. How did people show up? Anything that's again, one of the best questions that you can ask when somebody calls on the phone is, the first thing you're going to do is, what information are you looking for today? Not how can I help you? That's weak. That is what happens every time you walk into a store, and we're conditioned to go, I'm just looking. I don't know. And you'll find that you'll get low energy people. Hey, thanks so much. Great day here at ABC Carpet Cleaning. I'm Janice. What information can I get for you today? Way better intro. Started the tone off right. Big smile on your face. Starts a friendly conversation. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm looking for this and this. Information's awesome. I so appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know that. What research have you done on us so far? Now you can track your results. Because they're going to research. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I saw your van. Then I saw that. Or done no research on you. I literally, got an ad. Came across. I typed in Google and you guys were the first ones that came up. All right. That's some research. Let me tell you, two different ways to go down the next part of the conversation, but you can track the results of how they found you. And you can also, a great digital marketer should be able to show you the attribution, it's called. So did somebody come from organic? Did they come from paid click? Did they show up? Did they come back to your website from a different source? Did they come through a couple of different channels? Everybody is being tracked by their device ID, their ad ID, stuff like that. So if you're all being tracked anyways, of all of you, the people that show up on your website and stuff like that, let's take that data and show you how they showed up, where the right crowd came in. Because what we like to do is send that data back to Google, back to Facebook, back to any of these ad sources and go, hey, by the way, this one turned into a customer. This one turned into a phone call. And they go, okay, we'll give you more of those. We can't tell you who that is. That's privacy, but we know who it is. And we'll give you more of those. Good marketers teach the algorithms how to give you more of the right people. And that comes from tracking. Used to be that we talked about keywords. Now we talk about topical authority. So let's talk pillar pages, carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile cleaning, area cleaning in the city or the region that you're in. Right? Then we're going to have the city pages. City, the best, San Antonio's best carpet cleaner, San Antonio's best home cleaning service, whatever it is, right? Neighborhoods, linking up. Local events, linking, right? Supporting content cluster pages, pet odor removal, linking to the carpet cleaning page, eco-friendly cleaning methods, stain removal techniques, seasonal tips, on like all the questions people ask about, linking to the pages that make the most sense. Then long tail variations, emergency carpet cleaning in city. All of those weird topics that people type, those become long tail variations that support your pillar pages. That's how you build topical authority. On-site optimization, right? Good user experience versus SEO, right? You want to make sure the user experience is as important as the technical SEO. Leverage multimedia to improve time on page, separate pages for each service, create a page for each city and neighborhood. Quality content that is well optimized for every page, main keyword in the title, and the H1 keywords still matter, but because you're teaching Google something, but you want to make sure that you have relevant keywords in the H2s and the H3s. You want to make sure your meta description sells the click. Your meta description is not keyword stuff. It sells the click. Name, address, phone number, we call that your NAP, is in the footer with schema. If you have multiple locations, you know how to do that on location pages versus homepage. You don't want to confuse Google with 2 or 3 locations on every page. So you want to make sure your schema is only on the right pages. Blog content, client stories, topical authority content going on weekly. Press release and a media room to build relevant authority. If you have a media room on your website, you are the media source for the content that you put out to the PR content you put on the press releases. You are now an authority in Google's eyes. So example is, good friend Walter here, one of the people on one of the early slides an hour and 20 minutes ago, ranks number one. Number one. When he came with us, he wasn't even in the math pack, didn't show up anywhere, right? We got the truck showing up. He's on 3 best rated, which is a directory, entity SEO, authority SEO, all of that kind of stuff, all the kinds of stories about all of those things, telling stories about, we've got right below the scroll, we got pictures of Walter and his cleaning and stuff like that, all tying together around his authority. He's been in the industry for 25 years or more. Walter, you can remind me. But yeah, that's how you become an authority online as much as you are an authority offline. How do you become an authority offline? Because as you do it online to generate growth and respect and reputation in your marketplace, you do it offline as well. Do you stop into every single flooring store once a month, bring them coffee, bring them donuts, chat them up? Do you talk to all the real estate agents, interior designers, maid services, if you're not a maid service, window cleaners, and are you found to be the authority locally? Do you give a presentation every now and then? I know it sucks. Public speaking, the number one fear. I am an terribly shy kid. So I had to put on an act when I did my speeches in front of the chamber and in front of real estate agents. The first 5 or 10 times, terrible, right? But can you teach something? Do you know something they don't know? Teach them. Teach them. What is it that they need to know from you? Teach them that thing. That's all you have to do is go in and teach them something. So, right? Off-page SEO, claim and optimize your Google My Business listing 100%, like optimize it 100%. Don't claim it 100%. You either claim it or you don't. Optimize 100%. Respond to all Google reviews. Respond to all Google reviews. Hey, let me say that one more time. Respond to all Google reviews and create Google posts regularly. We say 3, 5, 7 a week. We do at least 5 a week for our clients. Google posts, well-written, optimized content that links to the website, links to other directory listings, that is really, really intentional, that teaches Google what you're all about as well. But you got to be responding to all reviews, good, bad, and ugly. Build lots of high quality business citations and make sure that you have your name, address, and phone number consistent across all of them. Oops. Build lots of real reviews coming in consistently. So your review volume doesn't matter as much as your review velocity. It doesn't matter if you have 500 reviews. If your competitors that are beating you, all things being equal, everything else being equal, and they get 3 or 4 a week and you get 3 or 4 a month, they win. So, and in the court of public opinion, the public cares about how you did last week, 2 weeks ago, and the last 2 months. They don't care how well you were 3 years ago. What if you've gotten rid of all those technicians? I don't really care. How are you now? That is the important part. And build authoritative and relevant links back to your website. Authoritative and relevant links back to your website. So what does that look like? Local, niche, and national citations build links back to your website. Guest blogs, right? Is there anybody locally that you can, create a guest blog for? That's definitely worth looking into. Industry associations create links back to your website. Local business groups, charity events, press releases, vendor links, all of those things. If you're, are you sponsoring something? Ask if there is there a link on the website about that. Back to your website. All of that counts. Claim and verify your Google Maps listing. We talked about that. No spam in the company name. Do not add words that you cannot justify. If Google asks you for a business license that proves that's your name, if you can't submit that, you are suspended and you may be kicked out of the algorithm permanently. Lots of online reviews, keyword in the title tag, Brantford carpet cleaning, or some variation in the title tag of your website that links back to your Google Maps listing. Build a website with lots of content, lots of citations. Again, name, address, phone number on other directories around the web helps your Google Maps listing. Solid link profile across the web, consistent SEO and lots of authority links back to your Google listing as well, back to your Google posts, back to the images on your Google, like updating new images, all that kind of stuff. Just go nuts because all of that's going to help. But it ties your website and your Google Maps listing are both two sides of your local SEO. So you got to be in both of them have to play in the same sandbox. So takeaways. What did you learn today? Any of this any good? You think if you did this well and consistently or hired some people that knew how to do this, that your business would double and then double again? Maybe not in a month, maybe not in 3 months, but within 3 to 6 months, your Google Maps should be ranking much better and you should be getting more phone calls, enough to pay for the SEO that you're paying for, at least to break even. At least, right? Takes time. From 6 months to 9 months to a year, your SEO should now be doubling and tripling that. Cost doesn't go up, but your results go up. And now it starts to compound and snowball. Maybe you want more content and go bigger and wider and a little bit faster. And then you up your SEO spend, you get more content going, you get more stuff in the marketplace because now you realize the value of it and you let it percolate up. So yeah, it is a growth thing. But again, you don't have to keep spending more and more and more. You want to kind of expand and then just continue to add, right? So you want to add because as soon as you stop, you are starting to fall behind. You're starting to decay. Google goes, oh, the most recent content that links to anything is like a month old, 6 months old, a year old. And it actually affects, you start demoting your rankings. And it kind of goes like this. It's like rising tide lifts all ships. It starts to come down, but there's this tailwind behind you that's starting to fade. Your boat's still floating pretty fast. All of a sudden it hits the inertia and the friction of the water and it goes, and what we see is like 6, 9, 12 months, sometimes as long as 12 months, more often 6 or 9 months of stopping a marketing program. Your results drop in half or sometimes way more than that, 75% drop. And it's going to take another year or two to get back again because you lost the momentum. All right. Set up a great website, get your keywords and geo-modifiers, use use unique content on every page, leverage multimedia, get online reviews, build your citations, post updated content on an ongoing basis, build those links and leverage paid search to identify high converting keywords. We didn't really get into that. It's kind of just threw it up here at the end of the sort of other takeaways, leveraging like use paid ads and find out what keywords generate the most amount of what people are searching for that they stop at the paid ads first for and create lots of SEO content around that as well. That's another way to pay your way into the market. Get it up here, but know that that's only a small part of the crowd. Let's get the rest of them down here because that worked. It's another really, really good identifier. So top 3 SEO initiatives you're going to implement to hit your goals, right? Do you know what your goals are? How are you going to hit your goals? If you want to double your business in the next 12 months, SEO has got to be a part of it. Paid ads has got to be a part of it. Local outreach has got to be a part of it. Building a client experience has got to be a part of it. You've got to start leveling up on all of these things so that your visibility is way stronger. Your authority is way stronger. Your brand is way stronger. Brand authority, visibility, growth like crazy. We call that our digital dominance method. Oh, look, brand, authority, visibility. Get this right. Understand each one of these things. There's a whole thing on our website about this. You can read up on it, how it works, and you can go through each one of these, but you get this right. And then you just keep circling around and circling around and circling around and getting good, better, 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 best, 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 best. Sell it or buy more businesses and do it again. If that's your goal, or if you want to be one guy in a truck, become the most expensive cleaner in town, buy property, build your nest egg that way. What is your goal, right? You're in business for a reason. You're not a technician, or you're going to work for somebody else. So if you'd like help creating a larger than life appearance online, want to become the best known cleaner, you're invited to hop on my schedule, carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/schedule. You're going to fill out a quick little survey. Depending on where you are in your business right now, you're going to talk to one of our team members, usually Krisha, who's on here, but Harvey's another fellow on the team. You're going to talk to somebody on the team, and we're just going to ask you to have a chat about your business, just friendly. Hey, tell us a little bit about it. What are you looking to do? Where are you from? All that kind of stuff. Our research team is going to do a whole bunch of research, right? As long as we've got an opening to fit my schedule, and you and I will have a chat. We'll talk for an hour, sometimes a little bit longer, right? If you want to know what we're going to talk about, go to this page. Scroll to the bottom. You'll see other people that had that conversation and what they thought of it. Go look at those guys, right? Go look at some of our clients and the results, right? This doesn't mean we're going to work together. We don't always choose everybody. We're picky. You might want to go down a different road, but it's all valuable free information like this, just about your business. We do a gap analysis, find out where you are, where your competitors are, what the gaps are in a whole range of all of those poles in the water. And then we give you a plan to close the gap. An implementation plan. So if that sounds good, go to carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/schedule. We'd love to have a chat with you. With that said, I hope you found some value in this. I hope there was some light bulbs that went off. I hope you understand what business is all about. And I'm sure you know some of it, and maybe you know a lot of it, but if you're constantly a student of the game, this is important to you. If you're constantly a student of the game, what books you're reading, what books you're listening to, what podcasts you're listening to is important as well, as we talk about all the time. You are a student of the game and the student of life, and you're elevating yourself up the ladder, right? So this is just another piece of that. So hopefully in that framework, you found some value in this. And thanks so much, everybody. Take care. If you know anybody that you could share this with, definitely share it out with them. Anybody who needs some help in their business. And also, if you're not a member of our Carpet Cleaner Marketing Secrets group, Facebook group, reach out to us. Go check on social media. There's lots of different ways, links that we've got to get into that group. You apply for it, and we let you in. It's a very private group, only for cleaning business owners. So anyways, if that sounds good, join us as well. We'd love to have you there. And until next time, take care. Thanks, and happy marketing.